Game on the line. Game on the line, baby.
Welcome back to the More to Us podcast. We're here today to talk about our experience at the Eagles game.
Fly Eagles fly.
We needed one more. It was an epic game. It was an epic game to say the least. To win with score with a minute 20.
Yep, to beat the Fighting Jeff Saturdays down to the wire.
Yeah, those are always the most amazing games to watch. You know, I always tell people, you always hear me say it. There's a whole lot of football left. It doesn't matter if there's a minute on the clock. It doesn't matter if there's 30 seconds on the clock, unless it's called. There's always a lot of football left. So don't give up hope, you know?
Mm-hmm.
These guys can attest to that.
Yeah, no, you've always said that. You've always said that. You know, it was a good trip down to Indy. Drove down there, 3-hour drive.
Mm-hmm.
Got some Taco Bell breakfast in us, some Tim Hortons extra large double doubles, and we sent it. And it was awesome. It was awesome. Indy's a pretty cool little city. It's not trashy by any means. Parking was a breeze. The best part, not the best part, but we get there. Traffic is going nuts. We see $60 parking, $50 parking, $50 parking, $30 parking, $40 parking.
Jeez, they're getting their money.
I tell Neil, I'm like, all right, let's just drive downtown a little bit. We'll find something. It'll just come to us. What'd we find, Neil?
$20 parking.
Yep.
We waited a minute. We didn't panic. We didn't get into that parking argument that everybody's all familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
No, just pull in here. We were patient. We knew there was parking. We'd find some eventually. Came to a parking garage. It was only $20. Actually, a really good deal. It was pretty close. I'm not gonna lie. Like, we didn't even have to walk that far.
No.
Yeah, I think it was just as far as some of the $50 parking. It was just you had to go deeper into the city to find it. And,
and that $50 parking was like directed. Like, okay, come in here, park in this lot, like grass. You know what I'm saying? Like, just parking on dirt and grass.
Yeah.
Good luck getting out of that after the game.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. You know, it was a very great weekend. Very great weekend.
Yeah. Shout out to your team too.
Yep.
Oh,
Detroit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Big win over the Giants.
Big win. Saquon Barkley, you know, I tried to tell you guys, he's not really like that.
He's not really like that. He's
really,
not.
You know what I'm saying? He's mid at that, you know what I'm saying? But, no, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to, act like he's trash or anything. But, Detroit did it, and we're not scared of nobody.
Hey, you guys are on the come up. I think you guys have had.
They won 3 in a row, I
Yeah, I
believe.
was going to say.
Hey, 3-0, baby. 3-0. That's all next week, 1-0. That's all we're focused on. 1-0.
Dan Campbell's got his boys rolling.
Yeah. Oh yeah, indeed.
Thank you guys for also pushing the Giants down a little bit. We needed that after the Vikings couldn't do their job.
We do what we
Not
can.
that any of us are really Vikings fans.
No, absolutely.
No, but they're playing the Cowboys, obviously. As an Eagles fan, you want the Cowboys to lose.
Forget about America's team.
You know what's pissing me off is that the Eagles manhandled the Vikings, and then the Cowboys go and do the same thing, and now everyone's on the riding the Cowboys, back on the Cowboys wave. But
it's all good.
I do want to say that it's official now. I am an Eagles fan. Didn't really care about the NFL at all. Didn't have a team. Watched the Eagles games for 4 or 5 years with you now.
5 years, yep.
And I think this was the first.
More than like 6 years, because we watched the Super Bowl together.
May I ask what took you so long to become an Eagles fan, or can I ask why you decided that this was the year to do it? The 9-1 Eagles was the year to do it.
I see what you're saying. That's not what happened with Neil. That's not what happened with Neil.
Sure that's not.
Because Neil, because me and Neil were chilling.
8-0. I wasn't an Eagles fan.
No, Neil wasn't an Eagles fan when he watched them win the Super Bowl with me.
Yeah.
It was going to the game, going to Indy, and seeing the Philly takeover. By the end of that game, by the fourth quarter, when the Eagles started getting momentum going, you would have thought it was a home game. And it was that camaraderie and that. Yeah, take it away. You know what I'm talking about.
So I'm a Nebraska fan, and I gotta say, so like just quick little history lesson. They have they have the longest sellout streak of any sport, men's, women's, anything. They've been selling out since the '60s, and Memorial Stadium becomes the third largest city in the state when they play.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, so it goes Omaha. I think it goes Omaha, then Lincoln, and then Memorial Stadium when they play. And I've gone out there for a spring game, and it was insane. Everybody was dressed to the nines in Nebraska gear, all of that. And when I wear my Nebraska gear out here, when I bump into another one, I get Go Huskers, all that. So when we were out there, there was, I want to say it was probably like 65-35, 60-40 Colts Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have the majority, but so we were sitting there. I don't think any of the Philly fans were like over the top. I mean, obviously they were upset because there was some weird officiating going on. There was another missed face mask right in front of the ref. This one went in our favor, thank God.
Mm-hmm.
But it was after the game, and I gotta say, the camaraderie was crazy. I was just wearing an Eagles jersey, and I can't tell you how many people were just high-fiving. The vibe that they had walking out, the EAGLES, Eagles.
They were singing the Eagles fight song down the stairs.
You're down and out the entire game. Nobody thinks you're going to win.
Yeah.
And in the last minute 20, you come back and you're up. There's going to be a lot of that. And I think, it was more like spitting in the face of the Indianapolis Colts fans.
Exactly what happened.
I guarantee they were talking mad trash the entire game, you know what I'm saying? So, yes, even if I wasn't, a fan.
I think we told you this story while we were on the phone after the game. We called him right away.
I did not attend this game because I'm a Detroit Lions fan, and, if I'm going to go to a game, it's going to be in Detroit, so.
So there was this moment where Jonathan Taylor just kind of, I think he went either like off guard or just like straight up the middle, and they were pushing the pile, man. And
they're screaming, "Push the pile!"
Yeah, the Colts fans are going crazy because it's looking like it was one of those ones where he was either just going to get the first down because they pushed the pile, or it was going to be one of those crazy ones where he then busts out of the pile and takes off, and he fumbles.
Yeah, right after all these Colts fans around us are push the pile, and he fumbled, and I just start saying, "Yeah, push the pile."
Push the pile.
Yeah,
keep on pushing.
Immediately deflated him.
Yeah.
And so
it
was.
Love that, taking the energy out of all the fans.
Yeah, it was nice for about 5 plays up until AJ Brown coughed it right back up.
Yeah, so they were up 13-10 at that moment. We get the ball back. Obviously from the fumble of Jonathan Taylor, which is why the Colts fans were so deflated.
Mm-hmm.
5 plays later, something like that, A.J. Brown gets the ball, gets a first down, runs into a guy. And, I mean, he was going for ball security. He really was. And this guy just kind of came up behind him and just, like, socked it out. And he fumbles. They get the ball. And then, like, it's their chance to really, like, rub it in our faces.
And they made it interesting.
They did. They drive down, 1st and 4 at the goal, and they decide to run 3 pass plays, which to me was just sheer buffoonery. You had an opportunity, and I think part of it was like him thinking like maybe, we might need to leave a little bit of time on the clock, but seeing as you're up, I don't really believe in that. I think that you just you waste as much time as you can and you put the pressure on them.
Yeah. Well, as I say, there's always a lot of football left, so.
But so they go, I think they throw 2 incompletes, and then Matt Ryan just gets sacked in a huge fashion.
Brandon Graham and Hassan Reddick both had huge sacks in that game. I can't remember which one was on that play.
I can't either. But BG definitely came out, redeemed himself for that horrible
unfortunate call. Yeah.
but it was nuts. So they get a field goal, and it's the Eagles. Like, yeah, they'd been moving the ball pretty well, but it hadn't been producing a lot. Right, we had just scored. We were down
16-3.
16-3
up until we scored that touchdown. Sorry, excuse
No.
me. 13-3
Yeah.
until we got that touchdown. They got that field goal, 16-10.
Yeah.
Game was on the line.
So Matt Ryan
Now or
gets
never.
sacked for 16 yards. They hit a 37-yard field goal on us. And it was kind of worrisome. You didn't really like what was going on, especially after A.J. Brown just fumbled it. You kind of see that it had the reminiscent look of the previous game against the Commanders.
Definitely a must-win. It was.
I'll tell you what. You know who didn't panic?
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts didn't panic.
Yeah, no, indeed.
Jalen Hurts that man is a full-fledged winner.
Hey, when you got that dog in you, you got that dog in you.
Dog.
So we're somewhere around like the 10, 20-yard line with a very good view of the end zone that they're going towards. And it's crazy. I want to shout out to this man right now. Halftime, we're down 13-3, 10-3, something like that. And he says, it's a close game, and if it continues to be close, depending on how this goes, we could watch the Eagles march down like last minute towards us. All
right in front of us. Spoken into existence.
So we get down there. It's 1st and 5 or something at the goal.
Well, hold on. Before we
goal
even
at the
get to
5.
that drive to get down there to the goal line,
Crazy.
it was rough. I mean, it was a grind. There was a lot of third downs, and then it was third down. It was like 3rd and 8. It was
3rd and 8.
No, not the one you're thinking of.
Oh.
It was 3rd down when we tried to go deep to Miles Sanders, who kind of just broke free, and he was wide open. And, like, wide open downfield. But Jalen Hurts went deep to him, and he underthrew him a little bit, and Miles Sanders played it perfectly. Like, exactly how you want to play an underthrown ball to kind of draw that PI. Miles Sanders gets that PI, puts us in the red zone. And then, we get, I think, Jalen Hurts.
First of all, I just want to say the Colts fans were upset by the call, and it was
he
blatantly obvious.
Yeah.
Like he slowed up for this ball because it was underthrown a little bit, and dude just a linebacker just like literally just runs straight into him, like tackles him before the ball gets there. Because it probably would have been a catch.
It would have been
he had
a tutty.
to slow up. If that linebacker had slown up, he definitely would have either gotten like he was catching the pass either way if he doesn't hit him. And the Colts fans are throwing a fit about the call, right? And look, that's how it goes. We argued with you. We argued with you last week about the call.
Very long argument about calls last week. So bad calls last week.
Yeah.
By the way.
But real quick, though, before that 3rd and 8 that I'll let you get to, we had a 4th and 3. And it was, I mean, game on the line, right? We're on like the 20, 15-yard line.
Big down.
Nick Sirianni, what's he call? QB power. Jalen Hurts, he gets some yak on this. Yards after contact. Not for you, for it.
Okay, wonderful. Because you kind of looked at me.
I was talking to you.
It seemed as if you were.
No, I know, but that's not. It wasn't even that to you.
Right, wonderful.
But he took some contact before he got there, and he had to power his way to that 1st down, and then it led to
the ultimate play of the game. Just the fact that they called his number,
the cojones to call this.
Call your number. Be ready.
He goes. So we get down there. I think it's first and goal at the 5. Gets to 3rd down, man. After a tough sack, puts us at 3rd and 8. For 3rd and goal at the 8. And he just does like a quick, it looked like it was definitely a planned QB draw, but he just takes one step back and then takes off right into the end zone, untouched. The Eagles fans are going nuts.
You could have drove a fucking tank through this hole.
Oh yeah, you could have. It was huge.
Dude, it opened up like the Red Sea.
Fucking gap.
Yeah.
Yeah. We love those. We love to see a beautiful, beautiful place.
And so I think the Colts actually had a timeout left. But either way, they had a minute 20, and all the Colts fans around us,
They started
barring,
leaving.
like the ones that were right in front of us, just literally
down
left.
1 point. Down 1 point, a minute 20 seconds left, and a timeout.
I'm not leaving.
And you're booking,
game.
but I mean that's how much trust they have in Matty Ice.
Ooh.
Yeah, and Matty Ice, you know what fucking happened? I kept saying it. The row of Colts fans in front of us, they were getting all pissed off. The old lady was texting her friends on her phone like, "Oh, these Eagles fans won't shut the fuck up." Well, there's a reason, because I kept saying like, "All right, Matty Ice, do what you do." And what I mean by that is go choke the fucking game away, Mister 28-3. Wow. Go do what you do. And what does he do, Neil? He did what he did.
He did what he did. He did what he did.
I think we also need to point out, it was either at halftime or the quarter break, the first quarter break. They put him up on the jumbo.
Oh my god!
And they asked him, "Who is your Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks?" And this man has the audacity to say, United's Joe Montana, John Elway, and Peyton Manning.
The disrespect.
Not to include the guy who whooped him
in the greatest Super Bowl second greatest Super Bowl I've ever watched.
I was gonna say,
yeah, because it was when it happened. It was when it happened. It was.
I will testify. I was not an Eagles fan at the time, but that game was an amazing game. The Pats fought hard.
The best game statistically in NFL history.
Nick Foles went absolutely nuts. I remember you and my brother were going crazy watching it.
Had bruises in the next day.
It was an amazing Super Bowl.
Philly fans, it gets like that, you know. That's why I will say this about Philly fans all around, all you guys at sports, the camaraderie that Neil was speaking on earlier. You know, it is kind of amazing. You know, you guys got the 76ers, you guys all these different teams, and you guys you love your teams. You do. You love them wholeheartedly, and it's amazing. I wish never mind. We don't need to get into it, but you know.
No, it was. I was telling him that before we got there. Like I was telling him every Eagles game I've been to, home or away, someone sees you on the street, not even at the game, you just got a jersey on. Just someone sees you on the street, they're gonna say, "Hey, what's up?" You know, they're gonna dap you up. As soon as we get there, we're walking. I had a Randall Cunningham jersey on. Neil had a Michael Vick jersey on, and there's another guy right behind us who had a
shout out to Vic.
Yes, sir.
He's got that dog in him.
Yep. But there's another guy right behind us wearing a Jalen Hurts jersey, and we're just walking in the stadium, and the guy like gives us all a shout out. A guy just chilling on the street.
And
we love that.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was an amazing experience. I'm definitely an Eagles fan now. I got to say that. The camaraderie, and I even told him this. I was like, I had never felt that outside of Nebraska. I had never seen any, like, don't get me wrong, like, you got Ohio State fans and their stupid OHIO chant, but it's nothing like when they just see you and it didn't matter. Like, we were walking out, just high fives right and left.
Mm-hmm.
That, like, everybody is, like, chanting. It was an amazing feeling to be a part of that. Yeah. And to be honest, I think you said it earlier, but if he didn't, it honestly felt like an Eagles home game when we were walking out. Yeah. There were so little Colts fans left. They booked it the first chance they got, and the ones that were still in there were so angry about the chants. But it was like we sat there and watched 3 quarters of struggle. 3 quarters of struggle.
I would argue that you watched 4 quarters of struggle, and it just happened to go your way in the end. But you know, that's just me.
It was definitely one of those ugly wins.
Big shout out to Jalen Hurts for stepping up.
Put the team on his back. Yep.
Second year starting?
Yes. Second year starting, third year quarterback, second year starting.
Showed a lot of veteran status. Like I actually looked for him. After the A.J. Brown fumble, while the Colts were marching down the field, I was paying close attention to Jalen Hurts, and he was actually standing up,
kept his composure.
Yeah, he didn't.
That man was poised.
He did not look. He looked irritated with the circumstance.
Yeah.
But he was not yelling at his players. He wasn't. He was reviewing film.
Yeah. No blame game. We love that.
And
we love that.
You know, to see that from such a young guy, especially after they blasted him for not doing enough in the Washington game.
Which made no sense. Made none. But
after they praised Taylor Heineke for whatever
doing nothing.
Yeah. And once again, he did nothing. Finished with like 200 yards. Like,
not even 200
yards.
yards.
This isn't about him. This isn't about him.
Fuck Taylor Heineke.
Jalen Hurts stepped up. Jalen Hurts was the man. Shout out to my boy Ndamukong Suh, who just got signed by the Eagles.
Got himself a sack.
He came in, did big things.
He had 3 tackles.
After
sack and a tackle for a loss, 1 QB hit.
Call your name, be ready. You know what I'm saying? It's you gotta love that. You gotta love at the highest level of football that you can play. You know, these are some guys. These are some dogs.
What's nuts about him? He had been on his couch since week 18 of last season. Just called him up 3 days ago, or 3 days before the game. Wow. He signed, and he was ready to play, and went out there and balled. It was nuts. He's a big body, man.
He's a big A.
Yeah, they put him out there to be a
big boy.
My man from Nebraska, he's I watched him play in college.
Did that make it a little more special for you, Neil?
It did. 3 total, 1 solo tackle, 3 total tackles, 1 solo, 2 assisted, half a sack. You know, he came in and did his thing.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't out there every down, but when he was out there, I'm talking even the plays when he didn't get a tackle. I was watching him.
It's hard not to watch him.
But man, when they put him out there, and because they did at the drive where they were marching down the field, and they got to the 1st and goal at the 4, he was out there, and I'm telling you, man, I think he was drawing a couple double teams.
I mean, when you have him and Fletcher Cox out there at the same time, those are 2 of the biggest dudes in the league.
Those 2 were just eating up that middle, man.
They're going to clog up that lane, too.
It was crazy to watch Brandon Graham have an absolutely amazing game, by the way. It wasn't just the end of the game that he stepped up. He was there the entire game.
He's always bringing the energy, too.
It was fantastic, dude. I cannot stress how the camaraderie and then like the Eagles fans, they were there the whole game. They were cheering and everything. But like the moment that, like, when you think about those iconic moments where like you go and you gotta like get the fans into it. Look, there was one moment, big defensive down. Everybody was standing up, and Eagles fans were making. They didn't put up the noise meter, but I swear to God,
it was the loudest the stadium got.
Yeah, the Eagles fans were making as much, if not more noise.
I know exactly what you're talking about. It's when Brandon Graham made a sack, and he was on the field celebrating. I'm like, hey, look, there he is. He's going at it. Yeah, Indy was rocking. Pat McAfee was there. It's cool to see him on the big screen. Yeah. One last point I wanted to make though. So that final touchdown on the QB draw, I was watching ESPN and Dan Orlovsky, who always breaks down film. He was saying how it was actually not an RPO, but it was a PRO, pass run option. So, and it made sense too, because when you look at it, you had like Devontae and AJ Brown spread out. So everyone, and it was an empty backfield. No, it wasn't. Sorry. Boston Scott was back there. But it looks like it's a pass play. Obviously, Jalen Hurts gets the ball, drops back real quick, and Devontae goes, the other receiver goes. So the DBs, and they were playing some type of zone, but the DBs went with them, and then the linebackers kind of backpedaled too, everyone thinking it was a pass. And the second Jalen Hurts saw both linebackers take back steps when they snapped the ball, that's when he knew just to fucking go. And that's why it was so wide open. And I don't know how you guard that play. That was the perfect play call.
It's funny because, like, right before that, so I looked at him and I was like, you know, sometimes you hate to see a sack because, like, they had gotten, I think, 2 yards or something on the first play, and then they got sacked for, like, 6. And I said, you hate to see it, but sometimes that gives you a little bit more room to pass, which actually is kind of a better thing.
Yeah.
And to watch that play happen right after that was just absolutely amazing. Like, it wouldn't have been what I called,
I told you I would not have called that.
but it was the right play. It was the right play. It looked like he was going straight for a 3-step drop, and he hit that back foot the first time. Obviously read what he needed to read off that play, which apparently was the linebackers, and just bam, right up the middle. There was nothing they could do to stop it. Like, one guy even broke on it and still didn't get to him before he got to the end zone. So it was amazing. Congrats to the Colts. I gotta say that they played very well.
Hey, put some respect on Jeff Saturday's name.
Yeah.
Enough of the hate.
I mean, it's not his fault Matt Ryan couldn't go out and get it done at the end of the game.
Yeah.
I did not like the Jeff Saturday slander that was going on about, it's cool, but
I mean, the dude only played for the organization for 13 years, 12 playoff appearances, 2 Super Bowl appearances, 1 Super Bowl win. Played under Peyton Manning. Like, you trying to tell me the man doesn't
know what he's doing?
Know how to lead a locker room? Come on.
All right.
But yeah, great Philly win.
Yep.
Awesome to see Jalen Hurts in person and delivering his most clutch performance of his NFL career. Right? He's never had his back against the wall like that under these circumstances. 8-1, best team in the league record wise.
Yeah, definitely.
Game on the line, go get it done.
Huge redemption game.
So
loved it. Love to see it.
Key takeaways are, I'm now an Eagles fan, and Jalen Hurts is that man. Jalen Hurts is that man. He did everything.
Yep.
I think his quarterback rating for the game was like 111.
It was high.
Yeah. And I mean, he did everything he could. The guy. I mean, he had like 80 rushing yards or something.
Something like He had more than Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had 70. I don't know. It was up there.
But he was
up there.
I mean, there was this one play specifically. He ran for like 20-something yards.
He's looking like a fullback. Yeah.
Dude, he actually gets hit, and you can tell he thought he was going to get taken
down
by
the
linebacker.
Around?
Yeah.
Yep.
He gets hit, and then like he just kind of is still on his feet with nobody around him, and he's like,
just keeps going.
Yeah. Brandon Graham, good redemption game. We still love you.
Again, guys, when your number is called, be ready.
Be ready.
And always remember, there is a lot of football left. I promise. There's a lot of football left. Don't give up just yet.
You got any key takeaways?
Just fly, Eagles, fly. That's all I got to say.
And we'll see you next time on the More to Us podcast.
Yep.